Have you ever noticed how your garden soil seems lifeless and depleted when spring arrives, even though you carefully mulched and protected it through winter? What if I told you that winter doesn't have to be a period of soil dormancy and decline, but could instead be a season of active soil building and biological enrichment? There's a cover crop that's been pushed aside by modern gardening trends, yet it possesses an almost magical ability to transform cold-season soil into a thriving underground ecosystem. I'm talking about hairy vetch, a winter-hardy legume that fixes massive amounts of nitrogen, while simultaneously protecting, feeding, and restructuring your soil during months when most gardens sit idle and deteriorating. As we move deeper into fall and approach winter, most gardeners resign themselves to watching their soil sit bare or beneath static mulch, slowly losing the vitality built during the growing season. Rain and snow compact the surface, erode topsoil from exposed areas, and leach nutrients beyond root zones. Without living plant roots actively feeding soil microorganisms, bacterial and fungal populations crash, leaving soil biologically impoverished by the time spring planting arrives. You're essentially starting each season from a deficit, requiring substantial inputs just to restore what winter stole from your garden. You know, this seasonal decline isn't inevitable. It's a choice we make by not utilizing winter as a soil-building opportunity. While your garden beds lie dormant, they could actually be hosting plants specifically selected to improve every aspect of soil health, from physical structure to nutrient content to biological diversity. The challenge has always been finding crops that genuinely thrive in cold conditions, rather than merely surviving, that contribute more value than they extract, and that integrate easily into home garden systems without creating additional complications for spring planting. Hairy vetch represents the ideal solution to this winter soil challenge, yet it's been largely forgotten by contemporary gardeners who've been convinced that neat, clean, empty beds are somehow superior to living, working cover crops. This oversight means missing out on one of the most powerful soil-building tools available to gardeners, particularly those in regions with cold winters where growing season length limits what you can accomplish during warmer months. Hairy vetch, scientifically known as Vicia villosa, is a winter annual legume that laughs at cold temperatures that would kill most garden plants. It germinates readily in cool fall soil, establishes a modest presence before hard freezes arrive, then explodes with growth during late winter and early spring when temperatures begin moderating. This growth pattern means it's actively working during the shoulder seasons when your garden would otherwise be unproductive, and it reaches its peak biomass production in that critical window between winter's end and spring planting time. The plant itself is remarkable in appearance once you know what to look for. Hairy vetch produces delicate climbing vines covered in fine hairs, with compound leaves that give it a soft, almost feathery texture. Come spring, it erupts in vibrant purple-blue flowers that attract early-season pollinators desperately seeking nectar when few other plants are blooming. But the real magic happens underground, where hairy vetch develops an extensive fibrous root system that can penetrate 18 to 36 inches deep, far exceeding what most cover crops achieve, especially in challenging winter conditions. Why has such an effective plant been forgotten? The answer lies in shifting agricultural trends and gardening fashions. As no-till methods gained popularity, farmers and gardeners gravitated toward cover crops that winter kill naturally in cold climates, eliminating the need for spring termination. Hairy vetch, being genuinely cold-hardy, doesn't conveniently die on its own, requiring intentional management. Additionally, its vigorous spring growth and climbing habit can seem intimidating compared to neat, low-growing alternatives. So, modern gardening culture's obsession with tidiness and control has really marginalized plants like hairy vetch, plants that actually bring wildness and vitality to our winter gardens. Even though their benefits far outweigh those minor management considerations, they've kind of been pushed aside. The nitrogen-fixing capability of hairy vetch stands among the highest of any cover crop suitable for home gardens. Through its symbiotic relationship with rhizobium bacteria, a mature stand of hairy vetch can fix between 80 and 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre, depending on growth conditions and termination timing. Beyond nitrogen, the physical transformation hairy vetch creates in soil structure rivals what you'd achieve through years of compost application. Those deep fibrous roots don't just mine nutrients from subsoil layers and bring them into the active root zone. They create thousands of channels that improve drainage in heavy soils and increase water retention in sandy soils. As roots grow, they exude carbon compounds that feed specific bacterial communities, and these bacteria produce sticky substances that bind soil particles into water-stable aggregates. When spring arrives and you terminate the vetch, all that root mass begins decomposing in place, leaving behind a complex network of organic matter-enriched channels and feeding an explosion of soil life. Share this video with fellow gardeners who are tired of starting each spring from a deficit and are ready to build soil year-round, naturally and abundantly.